We're going to try and do whatever it takes to beat you. And the level is so high. Because I refuse to teach young people at a lower level. I tell them right away, the level that I have is very high. And you have to reach that level. I'm not lowering it for you.
That was the turbulent 60s and the 70s. So we were in the middle of the Vietnam War. A lot of revolutions were going on from the standpoint of the sexual revolution, from the standpoint of the whole hippie movement. All those things were going on. The Black Panther movement was on the rise. There was a lot of anger in our society at that time.
Something happened in the late 70s and 80s that caused a change in the family structure of the black home.
You can, as a society, abuse my child, and now you're afraid of my child because I could not spank my child? Something's wrong with that picture.
Hey, you don't leave out here without talking. No. You come talk to me now. We're not even gonna start.
Is that it always comes back to the father not being there. They're very angry about it, and they take that anger out on society.
What most people perceive as what I perceive to be the best public high school in the United States. Oh, and of course, Sports Illustrated just rated it the #1 athletic high school.
Just growing up, that's the thing to do. If you're an athlete, if you're an entertainer, if you're doing anything in that type of field, the schools to go to is Long Beach Poly. And if you didn't go to Poly, then it's either you couldn't compete or you were scared.
That's why I'm bringing my son here. My son will be at Poly High next year. And I know this is the best place for them, and this is the best teaching in America. You know, it's proven. We have the most players in the NFL. We have the most exciting, situation for football, the most exciting situation for track and field, girls basketball. I mean, this is home of scholars and champions.
The hardest thing to do is to win the first state championship. I think once you establish yourself as a program, even though you're drawing from the same pool of kids, these are kids that know they're coming into a program that has tradition, and a tradition of winning, an expectation of winning. And I think that is something that happens in every practice.
If you don't make that second one, it's not faster, just keep running. I just tell you, just keep running. All right, let's go. Ready? Go!
I figured that out about Don. He knows his purpose, and he's willing to complete the task that has been given to him.
I think my dad really studies, and I think he really knows women. And I say that in a very positive way. I think he's intrigued by us. I think he respects us, and I think because of that, I think he always understands. And I think that young girls, they get that.
He has not only just been a father figure to the gentlemen on the track team, he's been a father figure to the girls on the track team.
You knew that he was there for you if you needed support, and because of that, you could be a better athlete because you felt comfortable with him, you trusted him, and with that kind of rapport with your coach, you get confidence from him because it's like a second father.
For some that don't have that father in the home, he's your dad here at the school, here at the track, here in the community. His house is always open. Their house has been a refuge for so many children.
And my mother felt as though that this was the time where I really needed to focus and settle down. So Coach Don embraced me by allowing me to move in with them. And that was the greatest experience of my life.
Football, you have the pain element involved. You got the contact involved. You got your heart is involved. What I mean by that is how great is your will to be successful?
I put the work in, but Don was the one to show me what to do, show me how to get it done. I had the work ethic, but Don had the same work ethic, the same passion I had for coaching as I did, as being an athlete.
The game is more technical than that. There's a lot to that, and I think I learned my fundamentals in high school. First of all, they've made a commitment to do it. That's the first thing. And then when I come in, my staff come in, we research a lot. We go over everything we need to do to make sure that the information that we give to those athletes is correct and is going to help them.
It's a lot of innovation involved in what we do. And I kind of knew right there that we would need help from others. But when you need help from others, your chances are not as great as you doing it yourself. And as far as the boys, I knew right away that we had all the tools to win.
I had to refix my blocks. Them blocks is weird.
For the real flat one?
I know, that's so weird. I couldn't get my full 2 steps. I had to go like this. I didn't get out either.
Yeah, I saw it.
Hey, Don, Jessica just went down. Hamstring.
Oh.
Jessica?
Oh.
Even though they may be important for getting points or advancing in CIF or state or whatever it is, he looks at the big picture. He looks at the long haul. He looks at this student as a young person who is in development, that if he takes care of them, they're going to be able to go on and do greater things.
Oh yeah, I received a letter from the NFL, my wife did, and she put it on the table. It said NFL on it. I really didn't pay no attention to it. And then she opened it up and read it, and it was I was a nominee for the NFL High School Coach of the Year. Then we found out that it came from Leonard Russell and Donnie Sasa. They were playing for the San Diego Chargers. They had submitted my name. And so we sent it in, and I still didn't think much of it. They called my wife and told me that I had won it.
I think the secret to our success is, well, Don is the secret. Don is the secret. I mean, I know he's not the head football coach, but you can go right down the list of every player that's came out of Long Beach probably. And I can guarantee you, each one that's went on to have in college, have great college careers, NFL careers. I guarantee you Don has spent X amount of hours, developing that player, developing that athlete, developing that person.
The Jamaicans hadn't lost in 20 years. Talk about pressure, being under the gun.
Boy, it was something no other school had ever done.
That's the only time I've ever been nervous with that, was I go to Penn, because anything can happen, but those Penn relays, they're number one for as I'm concerned.
In the 53 years that Carol lived, she did more in those 53 years than most people would do if they lived 100.
I could be mad at kids or have a problem with some parents. I come home, here's this smiling, beautiful woman there, consoling me and supporting me all the time. And she didn't require a lot from me. She gave back way more. She gave me back way more than what I gave her. I'll tell anybody that, because that just was the kind of person she was.
So it was natural. It was a natural for my dad to continue on, even when she passed, because it was like that was the first thing he said. We got to continue the legacy on.
I think my legacy will be what people think of me.
You think of Don as community, someone who cares about where he comes from.
Don is a man, an honest person, and he's genuine.
He's quick to say, hey, it's somebody else is the reason why this guy made it or this. He'll never take the credit.
He's an honorable man, loving, caring, consistent, never changes.
But one thing I want everybody to know is that I've been as sincere as I can be. I don't have a whole bunch of degrees behind my name, but I've been as sincere as I can be.